Welcome to another episode of ReWilding for Women, where we talk about empowerment and different tools and practices that we can use as women to open up to the fullness of self and really step into our biggest potential and our truest, most authentic nature. I'm your host, Sabrina Lynn. If this is your first time at the show, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. If you are a subscriber and an insider to ReWilding, it's great to see you again. And if you're not, feel free to go over to the website, rewildingforwomen.com, and subscribe to become an insider. There's a lot of special discounts, special offers, and things I share with insiders only. So hop over there and subscribe if you haven't already. Today's episode is episode 5, and it's one that is very near and dear to my heart. I've actually cried twice trying to record this episode. Yep, that's how close it is to my heart. And there's another reason for that. I'm going to dedicate this episode to the women who are joining us on Soul Purpose Retreat this coming weekend. So there's 15 women who are getting together for our second retreat. So have done some really big rewilding work already, and now we're going to a deeper level. Very special group, very strong bond. It's big space, it's rawness, it's truth, it's big vulnerability, it's big transformation, big shifts, big love as well. So I'm dedicating this episode on soul purposes to this particular group of women who will be journeying together in just a few days. Now, soul purpose it's like a can of worms, this thing, and I think this is why I've had to restart recording numerous times. And I think I've got a framework for us to explore soul purposes from. I also want to just share with you that I'm going to try to give you a view of soul purpose that you may not have seen anywhere else. And I'm also going to just go for it. Yeah, meaning we might go into spaces that are not very comfortable for you, or they might feel a bit prickly or a bit painful, or like it's searing truth that comes out. I'm not going to censor. I'm just going to go for it. If there are things that seem a little bit too out there for you, just put them in that little box outside of you and save them for a later date. But I promised myself, after starting this video over numerous times, that I'm not going to hold back on this one. So, all right, our framework is in a couple of different parts. The first part of our framework that I want to talk about, of going into this uncovering and aligning with our soul purpose. Actually, let's talk about that really quickly before I dive into these different steps or different areas of soul purpose alignment. I think there's a notion in our society or in the collective that once I uncover my purpose, then that's it. Then I just create some vision board and it's going to magically manifest, which I think we all know at this point. The vision boards don't really work most of the time if it's just vision board work that we're doing, right? So not to bag vision boards, they're fun, right? Cutting out magazines and posting up pictures is fun. Creating Pinterest boards, that's fun. That's really fun, but that's really surface level. So that's really only engaging a small portion of our being, right? The thing I want to say here is what parts of ourselves are operating unconsciously under the surface that are preventing us from stepping into our soul purpose, right? So what sort of patterns are hidden within our psyche that are preventing us from, one, uncovering our soul purposes, and then two, aligning with it, and then staying in alignment with it. So this is another aspect that I think we maybe don't talk about enough, is that soul purpose work is a constant alignment, a constant realignment. I have to continually check in with myself. Am I aligned? Go a little over this way. No, that's actually not the right direction. Steer back this way. Too far that way. Here's my road. Here's my road. Here's my road. Here's my road. When am I in flow, right? When am I in alignment? When am I in alignment? And please don't get hung up on that word flow, as in it should be easy. So just because it's challenging does not mean you are not on your path, right? So please don't translate the word flow to meaning I'm only aligned with my purpose when it's easy, right? Okay, so there are those two aspects. One is the uncovering, the continual uncovering of my soul's purpose, because it changes. So it changes, and we have multiple purposes. It's not just one. We have multiple purposes in our lives, and it will change. So my purpose when I was 20 is incredibly different to what my purpose is today. So there's the uncovering, and then there's that constantly staying in alignment and checking in with self. What are practices that bring me back to my deepest truth, my fullest expression of self in this lifetime? The things that fulfill me the most and give me meaning and purpose in life, right? All right, so how do we want to dive into this? Let's talk a little bit about uncovering of our purposes or getting the vision. So let's talk about getting the vision or visions. There are a lot of different practices around getting the vision, so the uncovering of our soul purpose. One is a vision quest, so that shamanic tradition of sitting and waiting for the vision to come. Now, vision quests can be days long, can be without food, can be very much deprive the system of what it is normally used to take you into an altered state, to call for that vision, to ask for that vision, and then you kind of clear your system out to be a vessel that can receive that vision. Does that make sense? I hope so. So there are a lot of different practices and ways to step out of day-to-day busyness, doing, phone ringing, all these distractions, to get really quiet, to get past this ego crazy brain, and to drop us into a space where we can actually receive a vision that comes from the depths, that comes from, if you want to use the word soul, that comes from our soul. So we've actually given it space for it to bubble up to the surface. And a lot of times those shamanic vision quests put you into extreme states of deprivation in order to make room for that to arise. Is that the only way to get a vision? Hell no. It's just one way to get a vision. Other ways of uncovering soul purpose or soul purposes is really any sort of deep journeying work. So any sort of archetypal work. So in ReWilding, we work with the archetypes on a very experiential, energetic level. And there can be moments of, oh, this is me. This is my life. This is what I'm called to explore. So a lot of different varieties of that deeper soul work, and whatever sort of practices you come across that open the door for you. It's a door opening to those deeper realms. Something in astrology that I can share with you as another sort of uncovering tool is looking at the nodes in your birth chart. So the nodes of the moon in your astrology chart represent your past life and your future visions. So South Node is around past life territory, and we'll talk about that in a second, but that's really what you're coming into this life with. So it's the gifts that you're coming into this life with, it's the wisdom, it's the knowings, it's also the karma that you're bringing into this life. And that's South Node territory. So sometimes you can do a bit of research or get an astrology reading on nodes, on soul purpose. And you'll look at South Node, where in your chart, what sign and what house is your South Node in, and then look at North Node. Now North Node is soul, or is future vision. So vision in this life, what it is you're working to embody, right? And again, looking at sign, house, and then also any aspects that are quite prominent with regards to those nodes. That's another little tip and trick, but feel into that. Feel if that feels right for you. The biggest thing that I can tell you about all of these practices that I share, or all of this stuff that I share in ReWilding, is to trust your intuition first. And this actually leads me into my next point. So we just talked about different practices and tools to uncover soul purpose, and there's a lot more. There's heaps more. I could film this video for 3 days and probably still be talking about this. But it's uncovering is that first aspect we talked about. But what I have to say here is tune into your intuition. It is what practices sing to me, what sets my system off. And sets my system off could mean I get butterflies in my stomach, could mean the hairs on my arms go off, could mean I get really emotional about something, or could be that deep knowing that just, oh, I know I need to do a vision quest, or I know I need to work with different archetypal patterns and myths to uncover things, or I know I need this. So this is the second area that I want to talk about, is this. For women especially, it is us developing this deep, strong, healthy connection to our core. So my core essence, my root, right? It's this, my channel, right? My life channel that goes all the way from my yoni, the base of my spine, all the way up me, through my head. How clear and how empowered is this line within me, this lifeline, this life energy? This is one of the most important things that we as women can do when it comes to pretty much everything in our life, but when it comes to uncovering and staying in alignment with our highest potential, our soul's purpose, is can I stay connected to my core, right? So that I don't get blown over when the wind blows. So that when outside influences like my husband or my family or my society or my culture or my ancestral lineage comes in, and there's all these exterior forces like wind blowing me around, how deep are my roots, right? Am I that big solid freaking oak tree that is right here aligned? This is my purpose. This is my passion. This is my life. Or am I that fresh little twig with tiny little roots and the wind blows and I'm like, oh, now I'm over here and oh yeah, I should do this, because I get pulled or pushed or swayed into something that is not my purpose, right? So for us as women, it's developing this connection to our roots, to our inner life force. And it's having practices that bring us back here, right? Yes, I love you, family. I love you, my partner. I love you, my children. I love you, my friends. I love you, world and society. But I need a moment to just come here, to self, to feel my core. And a practice I like to do around this is, it's breathing, and it's just envisioning this really strong, solid, almost tube of light that goes right, it's basically kind of my spine area, but it's this tube of energy, and it is just solid, and it is purely my force, my life force. And when it comes to coming into alignment with that, the stronger that the energetics of that are within me, the stronger I'm going to be on my path, the more aligned I'm going to be on my path, the more things will unfold for me, the easier it will be for me to manifest things, right? So when I do put a picture on my vision board, that shit actually happens because I'm fully empowered. Now with that, there's a third kind of aspect we need to chat about, and that's what the heck is in your system that is preventing you from fully uncovering or fully aligning with your soul purpose or soul purposes, different purposes, and your highest potential. So what are the unconscious patterns that are in your system that are stopping you, that are blocking you? That, yeah, I've had this thing on my vision board for years and years and years, and it's just not happening. Well, there's something going on. There's something going on, and you may or may not be conscious of what this deep, deep pattern is within you. We've all got patterns of sabotage, and they're there for reasons. They're there for reasons for our growth. They're there for reasons for us to learn and to go in these different directions that we're meant to go in. But the deeper that we can go into these hidden parts of self, the more flushed out we are. Does that make sense? So instead of having these unconscious, hidden sabotage patterns that my left brain, my rational brain, has no idea of and is absolutely trying to avoid because they might be uncomfortable. But when I can get these patterns up to the surface, healed, out, released, gone, I no longer have something holding me back that I don't even know of. It's like, what's hidden in the basement? What is hidden in the basement that's preventing me from operating and fulfilling, manifesting my dreams. What is that? And here's the part where we're going to get a little bit strange. It doesn't have to be things from this lifetime. So this is the really interesting part about know thyself and about diving into self, is that there can be hidden unconscious patterns that you come into this lifetime with, right? So it's not just, oh, I've had a really pretty cruisy life. I don't really have any traumatic things or strange patterns from this life, but it doesn't have to be from this life. It could be cellular. It could be cellular memories that are just within your DNA, passed down from your ancestors, passed down that lineage. And you're not conscious of it because from a left brain perspective, how would you ever really know until you go into some of these places? So there's the ancestral stuff. There's past life stuff. So you don't have to really believe in past life stuff, but we come in with some energy. We don't come in without stuff. We come in with stuff. So it's looking at what is that stuff that I came in with? What is in my being, in my energetic field, in my DNA, in my cellular memory that is preventing me, is holding me back? So practices around that is going into the depths. It is doing practices that get you past the left brain, logical mind, because this stuff is not logical at all. It's beyond that. So we do a lot of that at ReWilding, a lot of those deeper realms, a lot of work to travel to those places within the psyche and within our being, to look at any of these patterns that could be holding us back. We also travel to realms to strengthen this core as woman, right? So I don't get blown over in the wind. And then we also look at practices to uncover or to make space for that vision to arise. Yeah. Whew. Pretty fired up about this weekend. Hey, you want to come? I'm sure that we will be doing future soul purpose retreats through ReWilding. I just want to leave you with I don't know, just some good juice, just some good vibes and courage. Yeah, and courage to dive in, courage to go to these places. Something I can also say is find a tribe. Find a tribe. The tribe will do things that it's really hard to do on your own. So if you can find a tribe of sisters to journey with, or if it sings to you to journey with men as well, find a tribe to journey with. If you don't have a tribe, come check out ReWilding for Women. We have a private Facebook page. So just do a little search on Facebook and you'll find us, and then just request to join. It's something, right? And they will take you further, is when there's this, I'll just say sisterhood, simply because I have retreat in my mind. So this weekend, what's happening? When there's this sisterhood, there's a vortex that gets created where it is easy for us to go to these places. It is easy to create that container. It is easy to allow a vision to arise within us. So sometimes it's great doing solo work. Those vision quests solo are wonderful. But there are other times where, especially as women, this is what we do. Like, we connect. We create that big mama sacred circle that will take us further than we can typically go to on our own. So I strongly encourage you, when doing soul work, is to find that sisterhood and go for it and courage and bravery, and just go in with a sense of curiosity. I'm open to see what it is that I need to see in order to fully step into my purpose, my passion, meaning in my life, my fullest potential. Your purpose is your fullest potential, and only you can do that. You came in specifically designed for this particular expression. It's beautiful, it's magical, it's phenomenal. And it's, how much can I open to this? How much can I step into my gifts, my passion, and what I am here to do? Yeah! All right, wonderful to have this little chat with you. I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. If you're not a part of ReWilding, go check out rewildingforwomen.com. Would love to connect with you in some form or fashion. Who knows how that happens, but I think it would be brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next episode. Lots of love to you. Mwah!